going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of our custom car build series on the Club Car Precedent. I'm your host, Stan, and on today's episode, we're going to be installing part number SEAT-331B. Now, before we get started, let's take a look at everything that comes in that kit and the tools we're going to need to perform our installation. So when you first open up your kit, you're going to find your seat back and seat bottom cushions. And then after that, you're going to have your foot plate. And then after your foot plate, you're going to find your main flip frame. And after our flip frame, we have both of our handrails as well as our horizontal support. And then lastly, we have all of our necessary bracketry. We have both of our seat back brackets, and these are going to work for both our front and our rear seat backs. We have our top struts, we have our vertical supports, we have our seat kit handle, we have our foot plate brackets, our top strut supports, and then we have our instructions as well as our box of hardware. So now that we've taken a look at all of the parts that come in the kit, let's take a look at the tools we're going to need to perform our installation. First up, we have a cordless drill with a 3/8 drill bit. We have a socket wrench with a T40 Torx, as well as an 8mm, a 10mm, a 13mm, and a 17mm socket. We also have an 8mm, a 10mm, a 13mm, and a 17mm wrench. We have a rubber mallet or a dead blow hammer, and of course, some safety glasses. Now we've taken a look at all of our tools, let's just go over a few safety precautions before we get started. So now before we get started, we want to make sure that we set our parking brake, turn our cart off, and because we have an electric cart, we're going to flip the tow run switch to the tow position. Once that's done, we can begin by removing the OE seat back cushion. Now that our front seat back cushion is removed, we can begin to remove our SAM assembly. So in order to do that, we need to remove the 2 bolts that are at the top that hold in the top struts and gutters, the 2 bolts that are on the inside of the sweater basket itself, and then the 4 bolts that are around the outside of the sweater basket. Once those are all removed, we can go ahead and pull the SAM assembly off as one unit and reveal the under supports. Now, if you have any accessories mounted to the side of your SAM assembly, you're going to have to remove those in order to get the SAM assembly to come off. If you don't, and there are the little plastic plugs on the side of the SAM assembly, you're going to have to remove those as well. And now that our accessories or our plugs are removed, we can go ahead and pull the SAM assembly off the cart. So now before we get too far here, we want to make sure that we put some kind of prop rod underneath of the top so that it doesn't fall down on our head while we're working underneath of it. Now that our SAM assembly is removed from the cart, we can go ahead and remove the bolts that hold in the SAM assembly supports and remove those as well. So now that our sweater basket and our sweater basket supports are removed, we're going to go ahead and take the time to clean up all of the dirt and debris that was underneath of it. That'll make the kit look a little bit better once everything's installed. Once we've done that, we can go ahead and install our vertical supports. So before we install our vertical supports, we need to clear out the 2 holes on the outside of the bag well. Once we've done that, it'll accommodate the new hardware and we can go ahead and install our vertical supports. Now that our vertical supports are loosely installed, we can go ahead and install our flip frame. Now with that flip frame, we are going to reuse the OE hardware at the top on the body side, and then for the vertical supports, we are going to use the provided hardware. So now that our foot frame is attached to the cart, we can go ahead and loosely install our foot plate. And then once that foot plate is attached, we can go ahead and attach our handrails and horizontal support. So now that our handrails and our horizontal support are attached, we can go ahead and begin the process to install our top struts. So the first thing we have to do is remove the 2 tabs on the cart that come from the factory so that our supporting plates can sit flush on the body. So now that we've removed the factory tabs, we can go ahead and install our top struts. So first we're going to attach them to the horizontal support to hold them in place for our supporting brackets. And now for our supporting bracket, we're just going to reuse the OE hardware at the front. We're going to loosely install that until we get the bolt in place. And then once my hardware is loosely installed, I can go ahead and tighten down the hardware on this side, starting first with the factory bolt at the front bracket. And now we can repeat the exact same process on the other side of the cart. Now that our top struts are installed, we can begin to install our rear seat back cushion. So first we need to attach our seat back brackets to the rear seat back cushion. When we do that, we want to make sure that the mounting tab for the front seat back cushion faces the outside of the rear seat back cushion. Our seat back brackets are attached to our rear seat back cushion. We can go ahead and install those on the horizontal support. Now the brackets have 2 different mounting holes on them, so you can pick which one you want to use. I'm going to use the one that is closest to the front cushion, as that will allow that cushion to sit further back, which is better for me because I am so tall, and that will allow me to sit in the cart a little more comfortably. And now that the brackets are installed on the horizontal support, we can go ahead and install our front seat back cushion reusing the OE hardware. Now that our front seat back cushion is installed, we can go ahead and install our hardware that connects our top struts to our canopy. Now that our top strut hardware is in place, we can go ahead and go back through the entire kit and tighten everything down. Once that's done, we can install our seat bottom cushion. Now that all of our hardware is tightened down, we can go ahead and install our rear seat bottom cushion. Now with that, you're going to feel it slide into place with those locking tabs. And once all the tabs are in place, you can go ahead and push the seat cushion down, locking it into place. Once the seat cushion is locked into place, we can go ahead and install our handle, further locking that seat cushion into place. Once that's done, that's going to complete the installation for our SEAT-331B on our Club Car Precedent. And also with that, that's going to complete our custom cart build on our Club Car Precedent. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.